Welcome back to another episode of Junk Jaw Reseller Podcast. My name's Jay.
I'm Ray.
I'm Kenny, Delmore Redeals.
Very nice for you guys to be here again today. If this is your second time back or your first time joining us, please hit that like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. It will really make us feel good, and it helps out the algorithm.
Yeah.
And let's jump into this reselling journey together. It's just three guys doing it full time, and we appreciate you just listening to our mouths. So, how was your week, guys?
Not too bad. Sales have still been steady again. Been just trying to keep busy. I've been listening nonstop with those cards. I think I did about like 50 listings yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of just.
Oh, you did 50 listings yesterday?
Yeah, but mostly just all cards. Mostly just kind of trying to chug along with it and.
Well, but it's 50 listings.
Yeah, 50 listings. So, how about you, Kenny?
My sales have been slower than an old lady in a broken wheelchair.
Why didn't you ask me this when I was on the pod?
I actually had my store on like a 50% sale, right?
You're right.
Well, a good portion of and the sale fell off, and I forgot that it fell off, and I was like, why did my sales go away?
Take the car.
I think I got to restart my sale.
You're done.
Because I'm just trying to outlet stuff. You know what I mean? Try to get it going.
Mm-hmm.
If it don't sell on a 50% sell-through rate, or 50% sale, it's gonna get like wholesaled at the flea market. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw the sale back on, see what happens. Nothing happens, I'll wholesale it off. You know what I mean? But it's been slow on eBay.
Yeah. It's been tough to drive the traffic. I think when I look at my store overall, the traffic is down. My listing impressions are down, but then it's weird because I think my sales conversion rate is actually up, which is weird. So I don't know.
Nice,
but it's not up by much. It's like just a tiny bit to say that it's up.
0.5%.
Yeah, something like that. 0.25% even.
Yeah, I mean, my sales have not been as great. Last week they were beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Last week running on all cylinders. This week not really so much. Even though I've missed some couple days of listing, we put a couple listings out there, and thinking it would hit a little bit better. But no, I have a lot of good things in my store. A lot of things people want. I have some niche items that we can only. There's not like 100, 200 listed, maybe 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just hoping that this weekend pulls me out. So,
Yeah.
But we did sell a little bit on Whatnot.
That's awesome.
So we used Whatnot to do some sales. My brother and I, we had a collection that we bought, and we did a couple shows on Whatnot, and they went okay, not too bad.
So what was it? Like, what kind of stuff was it?
Video games, all video game stuff, like PS1, PS2, Dreamcast, Sega Genesis, Sega CD stuff, and then I ran an Xbox show, an all Xbox show. Yeah. Did okay. Sold at 24 orders. Walked away at like $369 on that one. I'm gonna plan on doing another one, and I did, and I canceled the show that we were doing in the afternoon, and I had like 15 people jump in first couple minutes in, and I canceled the show. I don't know why I did. That's for another time and another story. Why I shut that down. But it was it's okay. Then we're gonna have a great weekend. We had a great weekend at the flea market. We're going to have another great weekend. It's going to be 81 degrees. It's the end of March 2025, you guys listening. And my wife's going to go in this week, and she's going to sell some stuff. And just, so hopefully it's going to be a good week this week.
That's good. Awesome.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I just want to bring about Whatnot real quick. I've went live on YouTube and Twitch. I've even went live on Kick and the other one just to try it out. Whatnot, I always have technical difficulties going live on Whatnot. I don't know what it is, but something's up with their servers. It's probably not so much me. Maybe I actually use my phone for Whatnot.
I think it is you. I'm going to go out and say.
No, because what I'm using right now is my laptop. That's hooked onto the
Okay.
Wi-Fi, right? My
Okay. I
phone
thought it
has
was something else.
my phone has really good data. You know what I mean? So when I hook in to their servers, some reason it won't it won't send the audio and the video, and I got to keep like fiddling with it for like 15 minutes for it to actually show the audio and the video, right? And then by that time, you've done lost everybody that came into your room, into your show, and then like you're starting from scratch. So all the momentum you had
Mm-hmm.
from hitting, start the show is lost by the time
Mm-hmm.
they allow you, because that's what it is. It has to be their servers connecting to it. There must be an issue somewhere.
I don't know. I
Because
mean,
I've
yeah.
gone live on so many different places, dude, even using OBS, all that, right? So it's not like I've never done it before. For some reason, Whatnot always gives me trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but they just have technical glitches with their server or something.
Yeah. I've heard of
Even
some stuff.
you ever watch Whatnot, and then like there'll be stuttering streams or connection lost, or you know what I mean? Like you don't get perfect, video when you watch it. So just
Hmm.
imagine trying to hook onto it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
It's
don't
a
know. I
pain in
think it
the ass.
depends. I don't have too many issues watching it. I feel like. I mean, it's very rare. I don't
So
know.
you've never jumped around to different like
Yeah.
shows,
Yeah.
and
I've
like
jumped down to different.
certain shows have a stutter to them.
I mean, maybe like once or twice, but it's very rare. And I've been on there quite a few times. So, I mean,
Yeah.
like plenty of times. So, I don't know. I'm. I mean, it could be a lot of things. It could be the device. It could be the server. It could be the internet connection. It could be. I mean, there's so many things it could be. It's hard to say if it's Whatnot or the person. But
Yeah, because you
um,
can ask James. You can ask James. We went live.
hmm
We were having technical issues, and I kept messing with it. Didn't change anything. Just kept going back in and out of the show, and then all of a sudden it worked. Right, like
yeah,
out of nowhere. I didn't do anything. I didn't change any setting. I just kept going in and out of the show, and then it started working. Right, like
yeah,
it was like it slowed me down for some reason. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's like, you know, maybe they slow your momentum down in favor of other shows. You get what I'm saying?
I don't
I,
know.
I don't
Maybe.
know.
Yeah,
Again, that's
yeah,
conspiracy theory. But it just seems funny that sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
yeah,
And the problem, there's no reason for the problem, right? It doesn't say like internet issues. It just doesn't show the audio. It doesn't. You can't hear the video. Can't hear the audio. Whatever. And then all of a sudden it start working out of nowhere. So maybe it is me. I don't know.
yeah. It's like I said. It's hard to tell. I mean, I know when I for okay. So I guess I'm just gonna say this because of it's still like an online like server that they would use. But like when you play video games online, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like how many players are you playing with that are going to have issues too, and it slows down or glitches or something? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's I think it's just still technology in a lot of ways. They've never perfected it. They keep creating all this new technology, but I think that even streaming or a lot of things, it's never perfected. There's always issues. I mean, I see it a little bit everywhere, but mostly I think I see it mostly when I'm playing video games. Anytime I'm getting on anything like that on a server, it's
Well, one of the things I think is also it's a very popular category with the video games. So there's probably 100 shows running at the same exact time on one server, on two servers maybe at most, and
okay.
there's just an interference. You get what I'm saying? And I'm trying to jump
Yeah,
in, on a server with a whole bunch of other people trying to sell at the same exact time. You get what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah,
So,
no, I get
and
it.
they're not. And let's be fair, they're not as big as YouTube. They're not as big as Twitch.
Yeah.
So their servers are going to work 100 times better. You know what I mean?
hmm Yeah.
So I
No,
just
I
think
get
it's
it.
just a mind. It's it's a technical issue.
Yeah.
more than an
Yeah.
actual big problem.
Yeah. Now that we're still talking about whatnot, I wanted to ask each of you, like, what is the perfect number? Like, what's the lowest number that you feel like you're gonna have a good show? Like number of viewers.
I think um, having the right product makes the show better than any contingency on how many viewers you have. But
Yeah.
I've seen in my you know when I've been around doing it, anywhere between like 15 to 25 people I think is good, especially if you show what you're going to be running. Um, because the only thing that makes an auction is you have to have two people who want the object.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it. And if you don't have that, then it doesn't go.
Well,
I think
yeah.
the lower dollar amount stuff is not really. It's not even an option in here anymore. It doesn't sell. You have to have things that people want. You have to have the hot little like mid tier to upper tier games or any object that you're selling. It has to be mid to upper tier, or you have to find somebody who's willing to buy small, a lot of low dollar stuff bulked up for a cheap price, and like you're selling to resellers, they want to, sell in their flea markets or in their booths or whatever it may
Mm-hmm.
be. But I think anywhere between 15, the smallest amount, 15 to 25 people.
Okay.
With the exception of, we've ran shows where it was like 4 people and we sold everything and at higher than expectation. And then we've ran shows where it was 100 people in it and nobody was really buying anything, right? So I mean, sometimes you run into that issue too. Again, like James said, it's the product, it's the buyer, it's the category you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like you said, 2 people. If you get the two right people in your show, and they both want them items, they can run them items up sky
And
high.
they will because I had some games in my Xbox stream that went for, and I didn't do dollar starts. I did around. I ran it around 60% of 63% of what the item, what I felt comfortable
Mm-hmm.
selling the item for. And when two people ran into it, they would run the item up, and it would go for market price or a couple dollars above market price. So it's having those two people go at it. That's what's going to create that auction. You'll
Yeah.
be right. Yeah.
No, and I think it's tough for me. Like I said, I said this before. I'm just kind of conflicted on what I want to do, if I want to sell live or not, because I mean, it's basically like you're trying to find the right formula,
Mm-hmm.
to start, what price to start the items at, what products to bring, because you don't want to just basically bring all the good stuff and then you're giving it away for somebody else to make the bucks on it. Because the idea is,
Yep.
we're in business, we want to make the bucks, we
Yep.
want to make the money, and so it's kind of difficult to find that right formula, I think, and I haven't found it, and
I think you're right, but I think the main thing is you have to build up an audience. You have to have people that's going to follow you and come back time and time again to be able to grow your business. Now, once you reach a certain amount of people, like I study when I watch whatnot, I'll go in between all different types of shows and I'll study these people and I'll study to see what they do, and I'll learn what kind of views they like on the camera, how many people they have, and hopefully I like to run into people that are just starting out. I've only ran 1, 2, 3 shows, and the kind of stuff they sell, and I've seen people that sell, pallet pulls, and they've had 2 shows in, and not known they're not a big name on YouTube.
mm-hmm.
They've never been on YouTube, but they'll have 150 people in their stream, and they're able to take small stuff. Like I was watching a guy the other day. I didn't really do any study on him, but they 2 kids running back and forth, and they were bringing like bottles of juice drink, like you could buy at the grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
and they were selling for $4 a piece plus $5.99 shipping.
Wow.
Think about this. So when you build up a base, you could sell, sell. That's why you have like in the video game space, you have Chase After Right Price.
Yeah.
He can buy tons of stuff and bring it because he already knows going to get at market or above market for almost everything he sells. So I think it's just building your brand.
Yeah.
And the piece of advice I would give anybody who's just starting to do any live show, here's real quick pieces of advice. One, don't get discouraged if you do a show and there's only one person in the show or 0 people and nobody buys anything. Don't get discouraged because sometimes that happens, right? Just plan another show and do it again.
Yeah.
And the second piece of advice, don't worry about what you look like or what you sound like, because everybody sounds like and looks like something. You know, because I've seen it where people get nervous and you know, because they've never had a camera on them, and they get all weirded out and like, do I look okay? Do I sound okay? And then you can hear it in their voice, and it almost throws the selling off to where it's like, they get so disorganized where it's like, you know, the show almost is boring.
Yeah,
because they're getting in their own head and worrying about this irrelevant stuff. You know what I mean? So,
you know,
just do it.
like
I mean, basically the
right.
Nike term, just do it.
Just do it. Another thing I learned, like what I feel like is now is just maybe doing it, happen to having a rotation of days, like maybe you do it like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays or something. But just keep doing it and bring stuff on, even if somebody don't buy it. You're just going to keep going through because you might run into that buyer that day who's going to buy that item.
Yeah,
and
that somebody else never bought. So if
you can carry items over from one show to the next.
Yeah.
So if you didn't sell it in the first show, you'll sell it in the second or the third.
Yeah. Throw a couple new things.
Carrying that inventory over.
Do it for 30 minutes. I mean, just make sure you spend your time doing it and get people and talk to them like, you know, they're over there, they're a part of you, or you know, they're like friends that you don't even know. They're strangers you're trying to bring into your community, and I think that would be that's exactly what you should be doing.
Yeah.
And I think once you do that, you'll build yourself up. Like I'm still like I'm not the king of whatnot. I'm not saying that, but I've done a lot of whatnot shows, and I've done shows where I made $2,500 on $1,700. I've done shows. I've sold a lot of things on whatnot, and I only have.
We've done it for a couple years.
Yeah, we did it for a little bit.
You know, we're used to the mundaneness of it. Like you said, you got to do it. The more you do it, the more successful you get.
Yeah.
At doing it.
And there'll be people that you know, and they'll continue to come back just to your stream. That's what I had when I did the video, mostly all video game streams. I had video game people that came back to my stream, and I would run video games at $1. I used to start video games at $1. It'd be a $70 video game, $1. I ran N64 systems at $1,
mm-hmm.
and guess what? They never disappointed me. Like I sold a Jungle Green N64. I made $300 off a Jungle Green N64. I mean, I started everything off at $1, and it just kept coming in. But this is when Whatnot wasn't bogged down with everybody and their brother either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was shows that it was kind of an open ground.
There wasn't so much competition.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't so much competition. Competition is going to thin the herd out. But you have to have something that sets everybody else apart. Everybody can sit there and talk about a game, but can you talk to the people as they are themselves? Can you keep doing it? Do you have enough fortitude inside yourself to maybe show, let's see, this Pokemon card every stream for the next week? I mean, can you do it without making yourself feel bad?
Yeah. No, I think so. I definitely, I think I struggle with like a lot of the things you guys have both talked about, whether it's, or, not even being, trying not to be discouraged if something doesn't sell, or, just like keeping up with the chat. Like, I think I have a hard time like keeping up with everything and talking and multitasking and doing it all like that. Now, like my biggest thing, like, you guys have done video games. I know you guys have done some other stuff on there. but like video games is like a good niche to actually, if you have like a niche and you're selling all that stuff on there, I think that's good. But it like, what if you come across something that that you want to sell on there, and it's just one of those things that it's like it's probably going to do better on eBay because it's one of those items that somebody's going to have to search for. Like, do you ever think like certain things are just going to be better?
Oh yeah.
Like, and that's that. I think that's with a lot of what I sell. Whether say if it's different, like sports memorabilia, I don't know if that really does well. The cards I think are another thing, but the sports memorabilia, like somebody's going to be looking for a specific player or specific team.
You just got to go in that show, bro. You got to sell that item. Even you got to try to sell that item to the person who doesn't know they want that item. Sometimes that's how it works, right? Like you got to push it down their throats. I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Make them feel like, oh hell, I do need to get this item because that's what I was missing in my life.
Yeah.
Basically, nobody comes to a stream all the time going, I'm going to buy that because I need that, I want that, and that's exactly what I came here for. You get people like that, but most of the time they're just coming in, seeing what you got, and you gotta I hate to say the word trick, but you have to trick them into buying it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it.
Make them feel like they're gonna, the FOMO, fear of missing out. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's one kind of customer you have to realize is that's what's watching you.
Yeah, I mean, you could keep it on eBay. You could keep that thing on eBay, but if you want to bring it out and do a stream with just like baseball memorabilia, and it's high. I would tag it as like high dollar baseball memorabilia and autographs, and put it out there. And I would start it off at $1. Say this is what I don't want to give them top price either. Like say if it's $300.
Yeah.
Say if you're going to pay 25% in fees, or just make it 20% in fees. That's $60 off, $240. I would start at $230.
Now, the thing is too, a lot of the stuff I bought, or I've even gotten signed myself, it doesn't always have like certificates of authenticity. I think that's part of my issue too. I get the questions on eBay, and I have like almost like a copy and paste type of phrase I always say, or what I mean, response. But I'm just like, I know if I go live with a bunch of stuff that doesn't have COAs, I'm gonna get the questions nonstop, or just people just saying, "Oh, that's not real" or something, or just saying stuff when, I've done my research and my work, and this is my niche. This is my, what I mean. But there's so many people I've had people tell me to my face, what I mean, and say, not that they didn't think it was real necessarily, but they're like that they would just rather get one with a COA, or like why am I selling it for this price when he charges like for $50 or something like that? Why am I charging $20?
Because I'm bringing the deal to you.
Yeah, exactly. And people don't understand that.
That's your answer.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. There's a lot of stuff on it, and a lot of people won't sell signatures without authenticity. It's almost kind of like, I think there's a lot of people that it's like frowned upon, and I've made a lot of money because of my knowledge. I'm in no way like a company like JSA that authenticates stuff, and but I just have this way of, I know for sure, like I go through stuff and I can figure out if it's real or anything just from my experience. And if for any reason anything wasn't real, even JSA makes mistakes all the time. JSA or PSA, there's plenty of stuff that's out there they have authenticated that were actually fake, and you don't see people going crazy bashing them. But I would always, if a mistake actually happened, then you just get your money back. Like just tell me. But it's at the end of the day, it's an opinion.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that still buy it without certificates.
Yeah. but I see it as opportunity. Like, I try to cut down the price. It doesn't have a COA. Like, yeah, like Kenny said, it's a, bringing the deals to you because it doesn't have it. It's
I mean,
actually cheaper.
dude, you're talking to the right guys right here, right? Every weekend we sell half-open Walmart merchandise to unsuspecting customers at the flea market.
Yeah.
They don't know. Look, they don't know they need that Walmart brand, HDMI wire, but we sell them an open package HDMI wire for like $4 every weekend, right? Like, you just listen. As long as you believe in the product, they're going to believe in the product. That's it. That
Yeah.
COA, those people understand. They're coming to the show to buy that kind of merchandise. They don't care about that COA. Come on now. They,
Yeah.
sandwiches. This ain't, this isn't rocket science.
Oh man.
I understand the people at home, they, sometimes they don't understand,
Yeah.
When you go out there and you try to sell something, if you don't believe in it, if you go, I don't know, it might not be real, I don't have a COA, it might, in my experience, it might be real, it looks real. No, this bad boy is real. This is
Yeah.
100%. Go look it up yourself. I'm
Yeah.
selling it to you for $100. It's worth $100. Here you go. Take it, leave it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true.
I watched them sign it.
I watched him sign it.
Yeah.
I knew his uncle,
Yeah. I mean,
even though he's been dead for 40
I
something years.
there has been stuff I have gotten though in the past that, I mean, it's very questionable, and if I feel like it's questionable, I won't sell it. I actually have some two like 500 home run balls, and it's like they're completely signed, but the COA, the authenticity on it, that's like a no go. Like, I think that company had gotten caught for selling fakes years ago, but they were reputable at one time, and so it's kind of like 50-50. Because even I've had some people look at it and they say no, and then there's other people that say yes, it looks good. So it's really hard.
Why don't you send it into like JSA?
Because they're going to charge me for each signature on it. I think
we'll just charge you for one signature.
They don't do
just
that.
To see if it's real.
No, I don't think they do that. From what I've never sent a multiple item in, but from what I've heard, that they will charge if you can't just get one signature authenticated. If it has multiples on, you got to get every single one.
Well, see how much it costs to authenticate it. I mean, you got to imagine how many. We have 500 home run club. I don't know what year that was.
Yeah,
it was signed. The ball was signed, but
yeah, but I mean there's like, it's just, there's some people who say that maybe
is Barry Bonds on it.
I don't even know who's on. I don't think so. I think it's a little bit older than that.
Okay, you got a Bonds, you got Hank Aaron, Harmon Killebrew, Frank Robinson,
Mickey Mantle.
Babe Ruth didn't sign it, did he?
No. Yeah. Yeah. On that account, I would actually probably say
Babe Ruth signed that.
But it's tough because a lot of those signatures, a lot of those signatures on it are they were some of the most faked signatures at one time.
Yeah,
and that's what makes it difficult, and that's why and I know if I send it in, I got to take the hologram off, because I don't want JSA looking at it like, well, this is no good. Like, immediately see that, and I want them to authenticate the actual signatures. But at the end of the day, again, it's always an opinion, and I've heard people send something in like 3 times, like the first 2 times it failed, and then the third time all of a sudden it passes, and it's the same thing.
I just seen an article. Well, watch a video on it. It was a video. I read an article on some other things too, but they just sent in a guy was sending in fake cards in the PSA, and PSA was grading them 10s. These were fake, absolutely fake cards, and they're still grading fake cards at PSA 10s.
Yeah, well, and that's
think
what
about it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's an opinion. Like, it's crazy. My opinion's going to vary differently from your opinion or yours, Kenny. Like, you know what I mean? It's, we're not always going to be on the same page about stuff. So the consistency is in anything like that is never going to be, the same. It's never.
No.
Yeah, I mean
I,
they were
yeah.
popping open like 8s and 9s CGCs and sending them into PSA and get them graded 10s.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Well,
what I
we
mean?
know
But
PSA. PSA is the greatest because they just really they showed the graph the other day. I was watching what's his name has the biggest baseball card shop in like the country, and you could tell they showed the graphs of PSA to CGC to the other ones, to Beckett, and PSA blows them all out of the water, hands over fist. It's not doesn't even come in close, and it's like PSA is like the greatest. But here, as we're sitting here talking about it, and I was like, I would consider you an autograph kind of expert. I mean,
mm-hmm.
so you guys, do you feel like you're an expert in your category? Because I feel like I'm an expert, at least in video games. I mean, expert doesn't mean you know every single thing.
Mm-hmm.
Expert is just like, you could get away with it. Could you open a business doing autographs? Like Kenny, could you do like anime stuff? I think I could. Video games, I would be considered an expert in my line of field. So, what do you guys feel?
I could at least run a small anime shop. Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
And you throw some Pokemon in there, stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of anime and media,
Well, like I mean, when I first started all this selling of the sports memorabilia and stuff, I sold at the flea market. So I mean, I could definitely probably have a shop or something like that if I really wanted to. The only thing is to actually be a legitimate sports memorabilia shop. I think it's tough because it's just costly because you're gonna want to have guys that are currently on the team, their signatures, and you're paying up for them because you have a shop. You can't just go
Yeah.
out there anymore and get them for free at
No.
the ball game or different
No.
different charity events.
Not at all.
You know
And
what I
to be
mean? Like,
honest,
huh?
To be honest, I could probably run any shop. I could just, I could pretend. I could pretend to be a master, an expert at anything.
Hey, that's half of it. Just act like you know what
Yeah.
you're doing, and
No, but I mean, if they hired you, like if say, listen, I want to, I can open I want to work for a company and be,
Yeah,
I don't know,
I
a
want
grader
to go
of
to Japan so bad.
merchandise. I want to be able to, look over, and I know it's opinionated when it comes to autographs or sports memorabilia, but do you know enough to call yourself an expert?
yeah, I say so. But so I actually asked one of the local shops, Great Moments. I asked them. I basically was applying. I basically kind of almost applied there. I just kind of inquired about a job there years ago, and they told me no because I sell sports memorabilia myself.
Oh no!
I'm like, so what kind of? How do you get into that? Like, if I want to do this and go work for somebody, like, I can never do that because I already do it myself.
Right. But that's how you get into the field. I mean, really. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be a great asset because I already have the knowledge. You don't have to train somebody to tell them, this is good or not or whatever. You know what I mean? I already have it.
That's cool. Yeah, but you already have it. I mean, how else would you do it?
Yeah.
No, you sell video games? Nah, you do. You can't.
Yeah. I think that's different with video games for some reason.
Not.
I don't know. Yeah.
You can't give me prices. You can't come in and evaluate my collection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'd be like GameStop saying, "No, Jay, you can't apply here because."
Yeah, you can't apply here, you dummy. I'm like, here's the crazy part. Listen, for some reason, I applied for GameStop to get managers, and they only pay managers something that was like $15-$16 an hour. I made more money in other places. I'm like, I'm a manager. I ran, this and that. They never hired me as a manager. I never understood it. Maybe he didn't like, the games that I played or something. Because they ask you, what games are you playing now and stuff like that. It really makes no difference to me running your store.
Yeah. Well, if you say just Madden or something like that, they're like, no, that's not good enough.
No, that's not even going to cut it. And it's crazy because half the people that are working at these GameStops, a lot of them don't know anything about games. You'll come in and try to talk about a game like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I used to go in there when they had these they would have the The employees come in during Christmas time and help out. You know, you think they look like gamers and stuff with the purple hair and all this. You know, like I'm sitting back playing. You tell them some crazy game, dude, and they're like looking all over the place, and they'll go up and ask somebody who's been working there forever who does know games, and they'll be like, "What are you talking about? That game don't exist." And they're like, and I'll be laughing like, "Dude, I'm just playing with these people. They're hilarious. They're hilarious." Dude, I went digging through some of my stuff to kind of like piles of stuff. Well, I was moving a storage locker this week, and then they wound up. Listen, they charged me $250 over here on Merritt. We moved it over to the one storage locker, and then the lady comes out and says, "Why are you?" I said, "Well, I don't want to pay $200. I pay $250 a month on this thing." He's like, "Did you ever call up and try to get it?" I was like, "No." I said, "So where are you moving to?" I said, "Well, I told her." I said, "You can't beat $150." She comes back and says, "I can do it for $140." So I wound up keeping the place anyway. Rented a U-Haul, moved everything out of it except for a couple people. Yeah, dude. It was,
I would have said, I'll do it if you subtract the U-Haul fee that I just paid you.
I know.
You know what I mean? Because you got to factor that in now.
Yeah.
I would say,
which I did.
Yeah.
I paid basically it was $250, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, and anyway, I come across. I'm going through things like I had a whole box of anime stuff, then found a whole box of Pokemon type things, found a whole box of baseball card stuff. I thought this was cool. It's not really worth much, but it's a pack of 1981. I don't know if you can see it or not. Baseball scratch off cards.
Oh wow! That's complete. Cool.
Yeah, sealed pack. Then I come across stuff like Don Drysdale's.
That's cool.
Pete Rose's.
Yeah.
That's 71. Pete Rose, Steve Carlton's, Mickey Mantle's, Eddie Matthews.
Wow.
Hank Aaron's. Yeah, man. Like Tom Seaver's, Nolan Ryan's. This cool little Mickey Mantle checklist. I don't know if you ever seen that before.
Wow. That's cool.
Hank Aaron. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby Cox stuff, early wins. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff in there, man. Like
Ken Griffey Jr.
I got a Ken Griffey Jr. short print. I remember pulling this back in 2021. It's a $35 card.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's a 2021 cool. Top short print.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, that's cool. I just like showing little cool things.
Yeah.
Like it.
Does anybody have a complaint of the week?
Oh, complaint of the week.
Oh God.
Yeah, Kenny's not all fired
up. Kenny's all ready. Kenny's ready to roar and go, bro.
Come on, Kenny. You want to get started?
Man, it's probably just a repeat complaint, to be honest with you. My complaint is when you have 0 ratings on eBay, and then like you're trying to buy something, and you look like a scammer. And
how do they look like a scammer?
Because you have 0.
Everybody starts at 0.
Zeros across the board. Like you just created your account a month ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but everybody starts at 0.
I know, but it makes me feel bad to sell you something on eBay. I think I wish. You could talk to these people face to face, really.
Need a Zoom meeting with you first.
I think eBay should force people to have their ID on file.
Like so we could see.
Not
check
us,
their ID?
not so we can see the ID, but eBay knows who exactly.
I'll just call their phone number up. Hey, congratulations for buying this item. I'm about to send it out to you. I just want to make sure this is all in great condition.
Yeah, that'd be another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got their phone number.
Yeah, true. I might have their phone number.
Yeah, give them a call.
Because we used to do that same thing over at the gear shop when they bought the transmissions or whatever from us. We would call them up.
Okay.
And Kenny, go for. I'm sorry, man. I shouldn't even jumped in. I feel really talkative right now. But
no, you're good.
Now I want to hear Kenny's complaint.
I
What?
don't. I got to be honest with you. I don't really have a complaint this week.
He's not on a big rant today. It's your turn, Jay.
All right, my turn is this. So, I have a payout every week. So my payout comes, they take it away, and I'm left with a couple bucks, whatever. And I get the return in that I had a return on. I give the money back from that, and then somebody buys an item. Oh no! Yeah, this is what happened. Somebody bought an item, and it was like $80, and then 5 minutes later they put in cancellation for the item after they paid for it. I had to cancel that item and then give the money back for the return that I got, and it put me in negative.
Jeez.
I hate that. That's my complaint of the week. But that's all right. Stop. Listen, if you're going to buy something, don't send to me like, oops, I bought it accidentally. You didn't buy shit accidentally. Get out of here, man.
I know you got to hit multiple buttons to get to that point. It's crazy.
That's I accidentally bought it. Get out of here.
Yep.
Actually, I do have a complaint. It kind of ties into Jay's with the negative thing. Now that you said that, it brought it up because I actually went negative too. If eBay knows you have to pay out a return like a day after they give you your payout, they should set that money to the side so they don't force you to go negative. You know what I mean? I was forced to go negative because I had a return that I had to pay out on a Wednesday, and you know how the payout's on a Tuesday. I got paid out. That made me zero, and then I had to pay out, the back return for $20 or whatever it is, and then now I'm $20 negative.
Ray don't know about Tuesday payouts. He gets paid out every day.
Yeah, I do daily payouts. I get like a $19 payout. Sometimes,
my God.
Sometimes it depends on how the day was, but yeah, sometimes I had those. Oh, it is terrible when I get like the low. Like if you only sold one or 2 days the day before. No, I don't know. I just have it set up for daily payouts. I don't know. I like it. I like to have it because what if I had a big sale on something a couple days before, and it's because it takes a day in between. Like so, it's not even so it'll process for a day and then I'll get it. So it really takes like a couple days. Like somebody bought something on Monday, I don't even really get the payout till Wednesday. But say if somebody had a big purchase and I need a little bit cash flow to go buy a big deal or something like that, or something comes up, I don't have to wait a week for it to get to me.
Well, you can get instant withdrawal. I mean, it costs $2.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to pay $2. I just might as well get it every day. It don't matter to me. Like
I usually have money set aside just for that though.
Yeah.
So if I gotta pay,
Yeah. No, but
I get it if you don't have the money,
Yeah, every once in a while, I think I just do that just for because every once in a while there's this big buy I was not expecting. Like it's like crazy. Like say if it was $1,000 or $2,000, it helps to have like all the money I can get, and say if I just sold an item, I just had a $500 day. It'd be nice to use that $500 to reinvest it real quick in that big buy. That's going to make me, $4,000 or $5,000. That's how I see it. But so my complaint of the week is when you message somebody and you tell them that or you ask them what if we're going to do something and then we don't do it. So my complaint of the week is you, Jay. Because we're not ever going to do a live show. So my complaint of the week is that we're never going to get to this darn thing because you just never got back to me.
I did. Bro, I know I did.
I'm calling you out.
I've been so busy, I forget. I've got so much stuff going on, man.
No, I don't want to hear the excuses. I say any day of the week, and you pick a day, and then you just ignore me all day.
I did not mean to.
I'm kidding.
I promise. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I probably wasn't even ready for it. I would have probably been scrambling around like, oh crap, I got to get this.
I honestly didn't.
I don't even have Instagram.
You don't? Oh.
You had to get
I do,
Instagram.
but I haven't accessed it in like 2 years.
Oh, I tag you all the time on it.
Oh, there you go. Make of them. I'm used to
I
that.
haven't looked at my Instagram in so long.
Where are we going?
Yeah. Well, I tag you on there every time I make a post. You're tagged.
Oh, because my account's still there, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
And let March, tell March to text to you. I'm not going.
Yep. But so while we were talking earlier, this isn't really a complaint. This is just my F up of the week.
Next to the refrigerator.
Oh,
you got an F up of the week?
Yeah. So I went from complaint of the week to my F up of the week. I just got a message saying somebody bought a hockey puck and they're like, "Hey, I got the package in, but it's not a hockey puck. It's 2 Marvel cards."
Oh no, no, bro.
Which I'm trying to. Oh no, I can't get it back. No. Because the Marvel cards were on Macari. And the hockey puck was on eBay.
Oh no.
I've never had a cross-platform mix-up. I mixed packages up, like labels by accident, but I've never done it cross-platform.
Hold on. How much are you missing out on?
Not much.
How much is the hockey puck?
$13.
That's your ADH Dave moment.
Yeah, that is an ADH Dave moment.
Well, because I know what it. You know what it is? Let me see. When did I ship that out? Was it on Friday? I did. I put the labels on in my truck before the estate sale, if that's what it is. Let me see. Because what was...
Man.
No, man. I can't believe that. Let me see. So I shipped it out on... No, it was Tuesday.
You want to hear my mess up for the week?
Yeah.
My mess up for the week is I ate a whole bag of sugar-free hard candies, and I almost shit myself at the flea market.
Oh my gosh.
That's my mess up for the week.
Did you have mud butt?
No, thankfully. I clenched as hard as possible.
Well,
He walking like a penguin to the bathroom.
I was driving in my van, right, and it was like every bump was like a 1,000 feet high. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like, and I had to drive all the way to my my storage place. And I'm waddling through the driveway to get to the bathroom and tore that motherfucker up. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
Thank God I carried napkins. They didn't even have toilet paper at my storage location. Thank God something told me to grab because I always steal a bunch of napkins at McDonald's. I like open the thing up and I steal stacks of it, right? And I keep them in my van just for like incidents like that. And I grabbed a big stack and carried them to the bathroom with me.
Jeez.
Thank you, McDonald's.
Oh my gosh, this is like a TMI.
I was like, if it gets
hey,
too
dude,
close,
we got a comment said that guy in the gray hat, he's funny. But...
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look. I was
thinking
to myself,
this week he's the shit.
If it gets too close, I'm gonna have to take some of the napkins and just shove them up there. You know what I mean?
Okay, this is TMI, man. That's gonna get it. Oh my god.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Can you guys
TMI.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
I don't want to hear you.
No, I said if it got too dangerous, I'd just take a bunch of napkins and shove them up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard it the first time, I think.
I just wanted to make sure everybody was understanding or how deep
no,
my
we heard you.
Anxiety goes. I wanted to make sure everybody in the back heard me.
We're gonna move on from Kenny's shitty situation.
Almost.
I don't know if I have an F up of the week.
What happened?
I probably do. I don't know. My wife looks up at me as we say that. Like, I can tell you a couple. Yeah, okay. Maybe I do. I was on Whatnot. I turned it on for a minute. A bunch of people came in, and I shut it down because I was mad. I got mad at my wife after my F up of the week, and then she was mad at me because she's the one who did the listings on there. So yeah, that was my mess up of the week.
Yeah, that does sound like a F up.
At least you can just clone them over. You know what I mean?
Nope, she did a temporary, so she couldn't clone them.
Jeez.
Temporary?
Yeah.
I don't. You should be able to get on desktop and put them over.
They're temporary. Ellie said they were temporary. They won't move over.
I don't know what that is.
They disappear after. I'm not sure exactly what that is either.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know either, but that sucks though. You couldn't do all that easily.
I learn something new every day.
Yeah. Well, that's what this is, right? That's what reselling is. You learn every day.
Yeah.
You learn not to be mad at your wife during a Whatnot shoot.
Yeah, I ruined that. I mean, I had a bunch of people coming in too. It was like, it's going to be a real nice show.
Read it to the group.
So,
oh, look, I just want to show you. It says create temporary listings. It's on there as you create. I don't know if you see that. You can create.
Not really, but I believe you. Okay. So I want to
quickly add a listing that will expire when your show ends. So I ended the show and they all expired.
So I asked ChatGPT, all right, like I just asked it to give me some legitimate, funny questions that buyers have asked sellers on eBay, and so I'm gonna read the question, and you guys are going to tell me how you would respond. Okay?
That's a good one.
All right. Here's the first one. Will this DVD work in my toaster? How would you respond?
Yes, you have to wet it first with water.
I would just say yes.
You just say yes?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't specify what you actually wanted to happen. You just said, "Will it work?" Yeah, it'll work.
I would say yes, but you can't put butter on it.
It's not a burnt disc.
yeah. Is that how you burn a disc? Back in the day when we used to burn like CDs. That's how you do it.
How you do? You put it in a toaster.
Yep. All right. Number 2, I see this is listed as used, but does that mean someone has used it? So I see this listed as used, but does that mean someone has used it?
I'd say no. It hasn't been used. I had to put it that way. It's I actually just only opened the box, set it to the side, never touched it a day in my life. Yeah, so I just called it used for you, but just imagine it's new.
Yes, it's been used. Just sniff the tip.
Jeez. All right, number 3. Can you guarantee this vintage T-shirt has been worn by a ghost?
No.
I don't even know.
No. That's a dumb question.
Yeah. All right. There's no response to that one. We'll just skip to number 4. I'm only gonna do 5, and I'll do some every week or something. Number 4. Will this shirt fit my dog if I cut holes for his legs?
What? Repeat
Will this shirt fit my dog if I cut holes for his legs?
Ma'am, don't call your husband a dog.
How big's your dog?
Yeah. Do you have measurements in your description?
I mean, I'm trying to sell this thing. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's one of those situations you don't care what they do after they buy it. Just don't try to return it like that. Like,
right. You said it would fit my dog.
All right. Number 5. I see you're selling a lamp. Does it still work after dark?
Does your mother?
Oh, man.
That's terrible.
So that's
you know
our.
What they say, once you go dark, you never go back.
Now, I'd say no. Sex is better with the lights off.
Yeah. I like the lights on.
All right.
My eyes are going bad, dude. I can't see much.
No, it all depends who's in there in
hell,
your bedroom.
It's hard enough to see it with the lights on. You want me to do it with the lights off?
This is like our after. So this turned into our after dark episode.
It's an after dark episode. I better not give the church people this link to watch it.
Yeah. This is our definitely not church friendly. Yes.
Yeah, it says. I'm not saying anything nasty. Like, I'm not. I mean, it's natural. I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
Has sex.
Oh my gosh! But so I wanted to mention that that magazine came back.
No, again, I keep the lights on because when it's dark, I can't see. I don't know where my hand needs to go.
I don't even think it was a sex question.
Oh,
we turned
it what? It was about a lamp. How did it turn around?
What you do.
If you
with
reply
your
that,
lamp
you're like, that's not what I meant. Yep. But
it worked before I hit my husband in the head with it.
Yeah, then it's a murder weapon. You're playing Clue.
Yeah, it's a murder weapon playing Clue. That makes it worth more money.
All right, so that magazine came back. That one I shipped out, and the buyer put the wrong address and all.
Yeah.
And I went in. I told the buyer that if it got back to me, I would refund them the shipping price. And I mean, everything. I mean, everything but the shipping price. And so I went in to do that. Tell me why I go in there, and it said that eBay refunded them out of their pocket.
Really?
For what? It was the buyer's mistake. Why is eBay eating that?
Yeah, that's their fault.
Because
they probably went and complained.
Yeah, probably. And so I ended up relisting it. I didn't have any further communication with that buyer, nor did I, especially even after that, nor did I really want any, because I'm like, you kind of went behind my back, I felt like, instead of communicating to me that, like I did, like I was literally offering what I could do. And so I listed it. 2 days later, it sold. And a day later after it sold, that same buyer, because they sold to a different buyer. But so the buyer that originally bought it messaged me like, hey, if you get this back, I'd still like to buy it.
Huh.
I'm like, I'm thinking, I already sold somebody else. You're too late.
Yeah, you're too late. Bye.
Day late and a dollar short.
Yep. So, I don't blame you. I probably wouldn't even want to sell it to him anyway.
Yeah. So
not after that.
Yep. Yeah, I couldn't believe
that. That worked. Yeah. You get ready to leave? You guys taking my clothes out of the drawer? Oh, you don't have to.
So,
I'm debating, like, I wonder if the internet would actually reach
Just
my
turn
van,
inside
because I
out.
gotta move my van back like 12 feet to get back in my parking spot. I wonder if I could take you guys on a road trip.
We got a bag now.
oh gosh, and it's gonna go out. It's already out.
It's already out.
He moved and there goes the connection.
Oh no!
Just end it. We'll see you guys.
All right, guys. See you later.
Wait, hold on. I'm still here.
Oh, he's still here. Okay.
Can you guys see
Oh
me?
man, we're hitting that hour mark though. Well, we hit the hour mark.
Yeah, we're at the hour mark. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Sponsored by Sprint or Verizon, whichever.
Whatever one it was.
Because both of them did it. I don't know how to reference just one of them anymore. I can't just. I'm like, depending on the generation of who's listening, will get the joke or not. Like, you got to reference both.
Yeah, you got to reference both.
So, yep.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Yep.
Did Kenny freeze, or is he just sitting still?
He's reconnecting again. So I said, we might as well end it now.
Yeah.
Come on.
He moved and it.
I hear him now.
I moved the computer and it just like shit pants.
It did.
That was you the other day at the flea market.
I barely touched it.
Dude, if I was you, I'd throw some napkins in it.
If I knew it would work, I would do that.
Oh man!
Throw some napkins in it, like.
Oh, what are you doing? What is it? What the heck, man?
What happened? I turned my head.
He was. I thought he was about to moon everybody. He got up and just showed his ass.
Oh. That's what I thought he did when I turned around. I think he turned and like, what?
Jeez. All right, come on, man. No, we good. All right. Let's end the misery for everybody.
Guys, we're going to end this podcast. We're hit the hour mark. I want to thank you for joining us this week. Like I said, subscribe, leave a comment, and just tell us what's going on or what you'd like to see, any questions, anything. We do thank you, and thank you very much. And guys, have a pleasant reselling week.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.